Welcome back to The Glass Box, a podcast and a platform for revolutionaries who are helping guide the people to authentic liberation. This episode means a lot to me for a variety of reasons, which I'm going to be a horrible person and not share. Not yet, anyway. Stay tuned and all that jazz. I'm not sharing it yet because I'm still connecting the dots and organizing my thoughts. And look, that rhymed. That's fun. Side note, if you're watching this, I'm on my computer, my desktop. It's a very simple setup. And I don't know if I should be looking at the camera or the screen, right? So that it looks like I'm talking to myself. That's a different tangent, story for another time, lesson for another time, I suppose. Bring it back to the point, right, Em? This episode is with two friends of mine, Amy Douglas and Monique Sampedro. I met them on a retreat in Mexico during, and correct me if I'm wrong with the dates, but it was around the time of the eclipse portal in spring of 2024. That trip changed my life. The ripple effects from that trip are just now starting to come to shore, right? I'm making connections there. You may or may not see them yet. And for those of you who don't see them, don't get frustrated, okay? I lay clues in everything that I do and say and write. So I don't expect you to fully realize what it is I'm creating yet. So again, stay tuned, right? But point being, Amy and Monique have helped me a lot on my own journey to authentic liberation, learning how to trust myself and my own authority. So I am beyond honored that they both agreed to come on this podcast. In true glass box fashion, right? There's no real rhyme or reason to the way in which the conversation flows. It just flows. And this is a fun one. So I am going to have Amy and Monique introduce themselves. And to you, I invite you to sit back, relax, and enjoy the blank. 4 spaces. Fill it in. I'm not going to formally introduce you because I want to invite you both to introduce yourselves and however that looks like in this moment, whatever evolution you are currently in. But kind of my little disclaimer is I met both of you on a retreat in Mexico. What, a year and a half ago?
Yeah.
Which is bizarre. And I have learned so much from both of you over the course of the past year and a half. So I'm just super excited to have you guys on here. Have you share your wisdom, help you, not help you, have you speak to the connections that you guys have made with one another and everything that that has kind of brought into your life. Because just from the outside looking in, watching and observing you and growing myself as I've learned more about human design, like seeing your guys' dynamic has been just opened my eyes to so many possibilities. So I'm excited to have you here. excited to see what this conversation ends up having or holding. And yeah, would love to hear you both introduce yourselves.
God, that felt so juicy, and I cannot believe it has been more than a year and a half since we all were together in Mexico. I'm Amy. I'm a 3-5 emotional manifester and so much more than just those words, although I do love just being able to use those words. And for the people that it's meant to land for, it does. Um, I am a mama of 2. I have a 27-year-old daughter and a 25-year-old son. I am past my Chiron return. So in this group, I've
Ooh.
got a leg up on both of you. I might call it that because boy, do I see how much this time in my life is allowing me to let go. I was born when Mercury was in retrograde, so we're recording it during then. I'm like, it's kind of my life. Main sun gate, gate 36, double barreled from the solar plexus to the throat for the human design nerds out there. Spent 25 years of my life in the corporate space until it almost killed me. So, certainly for the last decade, I've been doing a great deal of my own transformation and deconditioning before I knew that those were the words.
Mm.
And meeting my co host here, who's going to speak next, has probably been one of the most impactful and necessary interventions in my life that I didn't know that I needed, but yet clearly I chose to have a roommate when a manifestor would typically stay in their own room. So it happens like it's meant to, and then I just feel like it has been the gift that's kept on giving because it also brought me to you. So that's my
Mm, that's so nice. That was such a nice intro, and that was so nice. That was such a nice follow-up. I'm Monique, and the other half of Love Human Be Spirit. And same like what you said, Amy, meeting you was the thing I never knew I needed and never saw coming, but has added so much value and expansion to my life in so many countless ways. Um, I love that we all met on a retreat, and as listeners of our community know, Amy and I met on the retreat prior to this one, but all within the same community, which has proved to be a beautiful community too. The De Luna community is just honestly the community that keeps on giving, like, is what it feels like. It gives friendships, it gives connection, it gives clients. I mean, so much those girls have given really to the world and to us specifically. We just had them on our podcast too, so it's kind of fresh on my heart. But um, meeting you in the Mexico retreat was such a cool, quick connection for me. I remember, and then what this relationship has evolved to has been really cool to witness too. You know, you've become one of my projector friends, which I,
Mhm.
didn't have a ton of when I started this experiment. And that's so important for any projectors listening. So, anyways, I'm Monique, and I am a human design reader. I'm a mama. I'm a podcast co-host. I recently started hosting music bingo at the bar I work at. I'm a music bingo host now. Like, who the fuck
Ooh.
even is this girl, right? Like, I don't know. She's becoming, is what she is, and I am a writer. I am a collaborator. I am a creative expression of the divine. And lately, that has wanted to come through me in so many ways, so many different ways. I've been lucky to be working with different people in communion and collaboration and connection. Like, those are just some of my favorite words. Um, Something about connecting with people allows me to grow for myself.
Mhm.
And it's just been the most beautiful evolution of self for me to be to have the privilege of growing through the other, like really recognizing the value in that for me. I think a lot of my life I felt like I had to do everything on my own, and like learning I was a projector, learning I was a split definition, learning I was a 1/4. A lot of these things allowed me to like embrace these like deep desires inside of me to want to just collaborate all the fucking time, basically.
Mm.
It's how I feel a lot of the time. Like, um, there is individual creativity, and I do work on my own. I give my own readings, but like some of my most fun readings are the ones Amy and I do together, and that's just who I am. And it's been really awesome to be able to embrace parts of that for myself. And so yeah, I'm all those things and more. I'm also a 1/4 splenic projector. And yeah, just being on this human ride with you two feels really lucky for me. So thanks for having us, and thanks for bearing with me with my Mercury retrograde technical issues as we got going. But I feel like we're
Right.
going now. So
It's like sometimes the car engine or the train just needs a little, like, it needs a little bit of a boost. Like, it
yeah.
is what it is. So I love that. Couple things popped into my mind right away. Um, One, Amy, I would love to hear about your Chiron return because your Chiron is 51, like the conscious, right? Yes, I wrote that down. Oh no, you're muted.
Now I can't
Oh,
hear you.
sorry,
Go.
that's all right. Sorry, I'm muted. Yeah. So yes, 51 is my conscious, 21 is my unconscious, both coming from my completely open heart center. Funsies.
Mm.
Can't make that up.
It's like, yeah, I would love to hear about that experience for you if you're open. And then, Monique, you mentioned growing, like, with and through other people. And the thing that, as soon as you said that, I'm like, doesn't she have 53 in her chart? And I pulled it up real quick. And I'm like, yep,
Mhm.
53. Let me see if I can share this.
Yeah, we all have 53 in this group.
Yep.
Bunch of 53ers.
It's a fun
Um,
one.
I can
I
start
per
all kinds of things.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Got no
me
problem
too.
starting.
Me too. I love the starts. Starts are the best.
right. So,
Um,
yeah,
I'm
your
glad it
53 is your conscious moon. And Amy, where's yours?
Might
That's
be
a
in
good
my notes.
question.
I can't remember exactly.
I don't
Unconscious.
know where hers is. Oh, yeah.
Hmm.
My 53 is in my unconscious south node.
Yep, right
Mhm.
here. It's like I've got the screen shared, so hopefully this works. We're playing around with all the technology today.
I can see it. I'm seeing
Perfect.
it clear.
Yeah.
And, I don't know what my 53 and my personality moon means. I don't know what that means. Do you guys know what that means? I don't know that nothing's coming to mind, like, for that placement with that gate. But,
Well, it's like
yeah.
your conscious moon, and I'm not an expert in this by any
Yeah.
means, but um the moon is all about emotions, right? And it's like your conscious emotions. So I would look at it from that point. Like, how does expansion direct how you move emotionally, I suppose?
Mm. Or maybe, like, what kind of emotions do I have at the start of things? Could be a
Yeah.
fun question to ask myself, because so many. God, I
Mm,
have so many emotions at the starts of things. So that's interesting to notice. I'm glad Amy said Amy's past Chiron return, and I'm past Uranus opposition,
mm,
and you're past Saturn return. So we're like three women past cycles in
right.
the wheels of human design, or however you
Cute.
should say that. But yeah.
It's like maiden mother crone type of thing.
Yeah, one of those things, like, the 3 stages of, like, fucking because I do feel like there's this evolution of woman that happens, particularly in these cycles, right? We're all, like, shaking our heads like,
Like,
"Yeah."
go on.
Because I remember we had Lori, who was also at the Mexico Human Design Retreat. Lori, I can't think of her last name at this moment. Lisai? Am I
Huh?
maybe saying that right? Who has
Mhm.
a podcast, we had on our podcast, and she was the one that dropped me this beautiful knowledge dropped both of us, I think, this knowledge, right, Amy? Of the as the estrogen decreases in the woman, the "I don't give a fuck" goes up. Like,
Mm,
because estrogen's literally what makes us, care about our kids and wanna do everything for everyone, and da da da. We gotta do, that's the hormone that does that. And so as it decreases, all of a sudden we see these women rising that are, "Actually, I'm not gonna do that for you anymore,
mhm,
because 'cause I'm now a little bit," it's like my time, like, is what it starts to feel like a little bit. Because I think, societally, we're very taught that a lot of those years where the estrogen is high, it should be going to, like, the kids, the families, and that is, like, obviously all changing and breaking down. I had a moment the other day, if I could just tell a quick story, where my kid reminded me how much this is changing, because so my daughter's a projector as well, another deep seeing projector. Um, and being a child, sometimes there's a real gift there in the purity of how things come out, right?
Yeah.
Because we're all distorted and stuff sometimes as adults. But I said something to her. We were talking about, like, I said, when you have kids, you'll understand the standard thing that we heard from our mothers, right? All of us, I think, heard that. I know I did. And my daughter real quickly stopped me. She's an ego projector too. Stopped me and said, "Mom, if I have kids, if I have kids." And I was like, "Dang, dog, you're right. If you have kids, my bad. The fuck am I assuming I know how you're going?" But we were my mother, it's when you have kids. That's how that sentence went for us, right? But that's not true anymore. And we know this I mean, from women we know that are choosing to be childless, right? Emily?
Hi.
Have you met? Right. So, and I don't know that I wouldn't choose that either. You know what I mean? I got pregnant by accident, I don't know that I was already choosing that as well. And I love my daughter and I wouldn't trade in the life I have, just to be clear. But I understand the very valid choice in today. Whereas, like, I don't think we were really, I know that I wasn't taught, like, hey, yo, if you have children, it was very much assumed when. And I was just so grateful in that moment that my kids stopped me in my words. And I was like, you're right. It's if you have kids. If you don't, you might not ever feel this thing I'm talking about. You're absolutely right. And it was like, oh, it's changing. It really is. It might not look it always to us from the big news and the big stuff going on, but it is changing on, like, I think these, like, important baseline levels with our dynamics, with our relations with other women, with our relations with kids, with our relations with partners. I mean, really, it's changing, I think.
Yeah.
Big
I see
time.
it all over the place. Like, there's obviously, like, people my generation. I know a lot of women in my age range, or at least, like, my friends, right? People that I socialize with. A lot of them don't have kids, and it's like, even if they wanted to, it's like they look at the world and are like, why would I choose to bring a child into this world that's like chaos, for one? Um, but also there's coming from a place of lack, right? Not enough resources. I could go down a whole ass tangent with that. But there's definitely a shift in terms of, and it's slow, but I've noticed people becoming more accepting of the fact that people are choosing not to follow um, societal rules and expectations over having children. Like, I know for me personally, when I told my family, like, yeah, I'm not going to have children, like, I'm never going to have children, they didn't believe me. Still to this day, they're like, well, when you meet the right man, like, you're going to want to settle down. And oh, aren't you going to regret it? It's like, I would rather regret not having my own biological children than to have them because I felt like I should, only to regret it. Like, and it's like, part of that is also because of the fact that the child would be able to feel that energetically, right? If they weren't actually wanted on some level. Um, Again, could go down a whole tangent with that, but it just makes me think of, and I feel like we might have talked about this a little bit when I was on your podcast. Maybe I'm making things up. Um, but you both work a lot with parents and bringing human design into, like, parenting. And I think it would be interesting to see if, I don't want to say if people would be more open to parenting if they had that, because I know that it wouldn't change my mind. But just the way that things like this system, human design, would help parents feel less pressured, I suppose, less stressed over the huge responsibility it is to raise a child. Like, I don't know, I feel like society puts it as, like, having a baby, it's the best blessing in your life, and I'm sure it is in many ways, but also that blessing is probably stressful as fuck. Like, and on some level, it takes away your freedom, your autonomy. Like, it is a sacrifice to be a parent, and that's not something that anybody should be forced into doing. That should be something that they choose. Anyway, get me off of my soapbox.
Oh,
Would
I
love
like this soapbox. I like it.
like, would love to hear your guys' reflections, perspectives, all the things.
I mean, I want to say just thank you for sharing that. I think a lot of the things you said are things that a lot of people are not comfortable saying
Mm,
out loud, even. Certainly not to an audience. So I just want to commend you for that. I think that there's that it can feel hard maybe to say even the words like having kids sacrifices your freedom. Well, that's
mhm,
fucking true, though, is the thing. And it is a truth. And we don't talk about that like we talk about having kids is the best thing ever. You're right. We talk about that all the time. And it is. It really truly is a gift that I don't know how I would have felt if it didn't happen for me. And what you said about having a child out of the pressure to feel like you have to have a child or like somebody like I remember even after so I got pregnant by accident. I was on birth control. It wasn't something I planned. I was 32. I had already pretty much decided that I was not going to have my own kids. I was with somebody at the time who already had a kid, so I was already stepmomming it. And I was
mhm,
like, I'm good. This is good. This is a good role for me. This feels good. And, also the child had a mom, like, it was like I was an extra person, which again, that all felt really good to me, honestly, if I'm being honest now looking back, having this, like, almost like it was a kid who had, like, extra love, all of a sudden he had a whole 'nother family to love
mm,
on him. My family's huge, right? Like, he started getting Christmas presents from people he didn't even like, there was a lot of um, goodness that came from, like, that, and that was it felt good, and I'm like, "Okay, I don't have to my body's still gonna be my own," right? Because that's another big part, you lose autonomy of your body when you become pregnant. People don't talk about that. Like, I felt all kinds of things that surrounded around, "Oh my god, I can't do that anymore. Oh my god, I can't do that anymore.
mhm,
Oh my god, I can't eat sushi? Nobody told me I can't have fucking sushi. Like, what? I can't eat, like, cold cuts, you're saying? What? Like, you've gotta be fucking kidding me. Nobody told me about that, let alone all the other things I like doing, like drinking and smoking and et cetera, right? But there was just all of a sudden all these things that I was like, "Holy fuck, shit, my body is not even mine anymore," right?
mhm,
So, and I went through that because, like I said, it wasn't planned and it was this like adjustment. And that's why I said I just want to say thank you for saying some of those things. I think a lot of these things are not we are scared to even let them out of our mouths sometimes because we're so schooled to be good women and good
mhm,
moms. And God, how could you? How could you, think about your life without your kid? Well, I'll tell you what, like, I love my daughter more than I can think about what love is. Like, I would do anything in the world for her. And there are days where I'm like, huh, would I be making decisions differently if I were on my own? If I
mm,
didn't have another mouth to feed. Would I take more risks? Maybe. Would I have quit my job already? Maybe. There's definitely an element of that plays into your decisions. And whether or not people are okay talking about that or not, I am. And I think it's good that we are because those things are true. Those are truths. And so there is and I've seen those kids that grow up in houses where they weren't wanted. I'm friends
mhm,
with those kids. We're grown-up friends today, right? And I've seen the unpacking of shit that has to be dealt with because they weren't wanted, but their parents had them because they were told to have them or
mhm,
because their sibling needed a sibling. That was the thing I heard so much after I had my daughter. "Oh my god, but you're not gonna have another one? She needs a sibling." And I was like, "Nah, no, she doesn't. We're good here.
mhm,
System complete. Like we're all tied up. That we're done. This is good. We did good. We're good." And there's no need for like because you had a sibling that feels really good for you. But
mhm,
I'm the first one to bring up like guess what you don't have to do when you don't have a sibling. You don't have to share your shit. You know that? That's a fun thing to think about when you're a kid. You get your own room your whole life. How about that one?
True.
Or share with your parent, whatever. But at least like you don't have to share with another. There are perks, just like there are perks to choosing a life of childlessness, because there is a level of freedom that comes with that. You are taking care of you. I know in your case you have a lot of
Yeah.
animal children, so
I'm
I'm
like
not going to say
basically
it's
a
just
parent.
you. Yeah, because I don't think it's just you at this point, right? And you have a lot of animal furry children, but there is an element of, like you don't have to do your kid's science project with her like I did the other week when I wanted to kill myself, right?
Mhm.
That's part of being a mom. Okay. Took away my whole Sunday. Couldn't do anything for myself that day. I had to get that done.
Mhm.
Right. Those are things that like, oh yeah, it's great being a mom, but like, yo, kill me now too, some days. Right. Cause like, let's be real. Like I was like ready to throw that fucking computer off of the balcony several times on Sunday, trying to get that shit done the way the school wants it and blah blah blah. Right? Like, get me off my soapbox now.
No, I'm like, here's the mic. Keep going.
Okay, Amy's turn.
So, I just love you, Monique. And Emily, because I think you told me that you're drinking coffee in the most adorable cup ever. It's just adorable. Your sweet little,
My little,
I mean, I would have likened it
it's
to like a
tea
teacup.
today.
Okay, because it looks like a teacup to me. So it's quite fancy. I'm feeling, yeah. So let's see. What's my journey with really honestly trying to answer both questions, because I'll wrap this in with Chiron as well. I don't think that I had this vision that, I'm going to have children. I don't think I had this vision of that at all. I can look back and see how very much I was a manifestor as a kid, even though I am the youngest. So not only did I have to share everything, nothing was ever mine.
Mm.
And I was, picked on, poked at, so deeply conditioned, act like this, be like that, don't say that, do this, whatever. So I had my days counted to leave for college in my junior year of high school. Like, bitch, I'm out. And there was nothing stopping me. Nothing was going to stop me. No boy, even though they tried. No freaking way. They're like, no, you have to stay home. We can have babies and you can work at the bank here. And I'm like, what? Like, bye. Right? Like, goodbye. I left home and I never came back. That's how that did. And then I graduated from college early because, I was in a hurry to be my thing. And I went to a great big college because in my head, and these were the words I said, I can be somebody different every day. Where if you're in a small town and you're in a conditioned environment, projection is real. You are who you are, who you are. And I also knew I wanted to get married because I wanted to get rid of that last name, But yet I wasn't in a hurry to do those things. I was in a hurry to live my life. And so then, I got the bug and I got married, got bit by the bug and did that. And then my middle sister had a child. And I moved back closer to home of sorts. She wasn't living in that same state, to help her with that child. And that's when I felt like I got bit by that bug. But it wasn't like on the forefront of my mind. I mean, my ex-husband and I were married 4 years before we had children and had been together 6. And I would have gone much longer because I was invested in my career at the time and who Amy was, what Amy wanted out of life. I lost her when I had kids. That goes out the window. You become the thing that you are then. Well, I did. Open heart, open G. I don't know. You could say a lot of things about that. I became the thing. I literally quit my job the day I was supposed to go back from work from my maternity leave. I just like up and quit. I was the breadwinner. I'm like, nope. Can't do this. Can't leave my kid with somebody else. Like, there were just a lot of things that took me in a different path. I wouldn't change any of them. But I can now pass that Chiron return, but in reflection, moving toward that Chiron return. For the first time in my life, at 46 years old, I became an empty nester when my son went to college. I was divorced. And I'm like, wait, what? I get to make all the decisions with no distractions, never compromising anything for myself. It was just like magical, you guys. I mean, it was like the holy grail. I was pinching myself every day going, I did not know that life could be like this. I had just left my corporate life. So I was starting to build something for me. I left my corporate life in January of 19. And so then my son went to college in August of 19. And then COVID happened. And so he came back home. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Thank God it happens like it's meant to, because I would not give up that time now to save my whole life. But in the moments, it was really challenging. And that's the thing about kiddos
Mhm.
is they're a forever responsibility. Those are my chosen words. Okay. But I took the oath as a parent very seriously.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, their father did not. And so I am both. I am all the things. And sometimes I get myself on a soapbox and I feel really good about that. But most of the time I feel really depleted by that. And I think the beginning of my Chiron return, because once I got my son his junior year of college in his own apartment, and got my daughter moved to Michigan in with her now husband, I'm like, bye, out again. And I moved to Florida.
Mhm.
And the 14 months that I lived in Florida, while it was a ton of healing, I think it was prepping me for, hey, Amy, it's your time.
Mm.
And I didn't, I'm going to say really, I can feel myself trying to filter things. I didn't miss people
Yeah.
because I was finding me again. I didn't, people are like, oh, do you know anybody? Nope. Oh, well, do you have anybody down there? Nope. Oh, well, I'm just like, no, y'all could, I would even be by the pool or at the gym. And, these people would try to come over to me in the community I was living in. I'm like, fuck off. I'm just trying to be me, And that was literally leading up to my official date of my Chiron term. But we both know you feel things before, you feel things during, and you feel things after. It's all a
Mhm.
process. It's not just like a switch gets flipped and you're like, oh. And so I'm talking in my third line reflection of this now, and I'm noticing. So then I left right before my Chiron return because my daughter was pregnant and she was having a really, really challenging pregnancy. And so I moved from my beautiful Florida space to Michigan in November. Like, who
Aw.
does that? Okay. This is my testament to the love I have for my children and the responsibility that I deeply feel. And
Mhm.
then I lost some years, you guys, and Monique can probably attest to this because we'd already met by that time. I lost some years of myself and who I am and my responsibilities to my children, 2023. And until we went to the retreat in 2024, I think I was just in a really big fog of, oh my God, I can't do anything for me. I have all the evidence in the world that I'm always going to be needed by everybody else. And I think to the point of what Monique was sharing that Lori Lasai shared with us about the estrogen going down, that estrogen is the hormone, the drug inside of us that has us nurturing. Oh,
Mm.
we're going to care for things. We're going to care so deeply. We're going to care so much. We're going to abandon ourselves to care. And then when that dips lower, the fucks to give are different, man. And
Mhm.
I see that I was building that already by moving away from what I knew was alignment to come back to that nurturing phase, such nurturing because both my kiddos were really, really sick in 23. And I see the stories I made up for myself that I also could have given them. I could have held them completely capable of navigating that on their own, but I chose not to. And now I'm in a season in my life where I am holding them completely capable.
Mm.
And I am learning to trust that. And my voice notes to my children and the energy I give them is different. I know I scared the crap out of them last month. I went to visit both of them, and menopause is real. Like, I don't know if I'm going to feel good or not. It's really, really, really challenging. It's life altering in not the great ways.
Mhm.
I'm trusting that on the other side of it, there's going to be a lot of wisdom that I'm going to gain. But I think I scared the crap out of both of them of just how incredibly depleted I was, and I think this is when the light bulb flashes on. You know how we talk about once you turn the light on to a shadow, it can no longer, it's like, "Okay, all the lights are on. What are you
Mhm.
gonna do about it, Amy?" And I see it in my design, I see it astrologically, what's happening for me, not to me. And so, I've said in a couple different places and spaces, I'm pretty sure I'm on the precipice of blowing up my whole life again, and I've done that multiple times in my life, and every time without knowing, I'm a third line, without knowing if it's possible, what's gonna come of it, I just get to trust it again. And
Mhm.
I think this time it's gonna look really different because I'm not gonna make sure that everybody's okay before I do it. And you heard me say before I moved to Florida, I made sure everybody was okay. This
Mhm.
time I'm just gonna let the cards fall where they are. And I'm just gonna trust that people can be responsible for themselves because my South Node is in Cancer and my North Node is in Capricorn, and I need to let that Cancer go.
Mhm.
Oh. I love that. I'm excited to see where you land.
It's gonna be
Uh-huh.
messy. It'll be messy along the way, but it's gonna be fine. I'm used to that.
There's nothing wrong with mess. Like,
I now feel that way. I do. I feel very different about that than so many other times that I've blown up my life.
mhm.
like divorce. That is very messy,
Yeah.
but yet it was necessary. It was necessary. For me, I think I carried the weight of what it did to my children. Again, you hear how I'm like taking ownership in that. And I do think there is a level of ownership, but what would have I modeled if I would have stayed? You know?
Mm-hmm.
I want to share something that I saw earlier today because I feel like it's relevant. And I think that I feel a lot of what you just said too, Amy, about how there's like this guilt involved with divorce and it's messy and all this. You and I have had countless conversations about this. And I think that anybody that has felt as if they have split their family apart by getting divorced, because that's what the story is that we're told. But that's conditioning, is what I want to remind us. That is, we were beaten into our heads that this is what a family should look like. And here's what I'm going to offer. I saw it this morning on Instagram. It was funny. And it was a gay guy, he was a bi guy saying how he believes that gay parents are better parents. And the other guy was like, "Oh, why? Why do you say?" And he was like, because he's like, I have 3 lesbian moms and 2 gay dads. And he's like, do you want me to break it down? And he like breaks it down how that whatever all went down. He's like, but here's what. Gay people don't have kids by accident. There's no oopsie, I got pregnant by accident. That's what kind of to what we're saying, right? I mean, even I said it in this interview. I got pregnant on accident. It wasn't like, hey, I'm gonna have a baby. Like the guy was like, we have to like literally go through a process if we want a child. Okay, as a gay parent, first of all. Second, it doesn't become this like, I don't know what the word is. Nuclear family. Is that the right word? This like just this, and this kind of family unit. It never looks like that.
Mhm.
He says that he was raised with like, other like, he's like, I had like 6 or 8 examples to look up to, not 2, not
Mhm.
2 role models to look up to. I have these ideas of what a family looks like that are variant and expansive and all over the place. And it doesn't have to look like one, like a mom is responsible, right? We have a whole fucking tribe, kind of like how the fuck it's supposed to be, I think, right? Like when we first started popping babies out of ourselves in tribes, we had, there wasn't like the mom was carrying him all the time. Like, and, I watched another parent recently talk about this too, about how like we're not meant to be around our kids all the time. But in this society, we have to be good moms, to be good this, to raise them right, to whatever. That's how the structure is set up for us, which is fucked. Which, I mean, Shayna just popped off on this on one of our episodes that we had her on too. She was going on and on because, she had her baby not too long ago. And Shayna was like, wait a minute, I'm not allowed to drive drunk, but like I can drive on no sleep for like a year straight and get with my baby in the car to take him to doctor's appointment. And that's totally fine. Like we're literally crazy people. I was the first year after I had a baby. There was nothing made sense. I didn't sleep. Everything was fucking up, was down. And then you're like expected to keep another human alive on your own. That's bananas if you think about it. Even with 2 people, that's bananas. Like one of my really good friends is in a throuple and they already have 1 child together and they are having their 2nd child. It's 1 girl, 2 guys. And I was like, when they first told like our parents and all these people, they were like, oh my God, what do you mean? But like, who's and like, what's and like, blah, blah, because, people can't understand things. But I was like, yo, she hacked the system. Fucking Danielle is smart. She hacked the system. She's got 2 dudes while she's fucking pregnant or after she has a baby. What? Yes, I want that one, please. Sign me up for that. I'll take it. Like, that's brilliant. And they were even telling us, they're like, when one of us gets sick, we still have 2 parents. Oh, that's pretty genius.
Nope.
Like, oh my God. So yeah, I'm just gonna leave that there.
Oh, I love it. But it just like
I've always been a fan of the throuple scenario. I just think that, or some scenario like that, I just think it's brilliant, just absolutely brilliant. We should never expect for all of our needs to be met by 1 human. And so the more that you open yourself up to the community of humans, and then you think if there are children in that dynamic, that's more love to be spread. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Just brilliant.
Well, too, and it's like it speaks to the fact that within our society, we're so stuck on like, sure, there's a lot of different kinds of way to love, but the right way to love right,
Mhm.
is this way. Like, no, it's not. There's a ton of different kinds of love, like romantic, platonic, friendship, like business, like there's all different kinds. Why try to stuff everything in a fucking box? Like, break out of it, people. Come on. Like, just
Mhm.
shake people sometimes. But
Yeah,
no, and it's like
seriously.
having these just more open-minded open-minded relationships, open-minded concepts of what community looks like people act as if it's scary, it's terrifying, like, "Oh my god, it's gonna, like, mess up everything," like, all of this bad things. It's probably gonna be the thing that actually solves a lot of problems. Like, stop limiting yourself. I understand you're uncomfortable because you've been conditioned to be uncomfortable with this. Like, it's scary. "Oh, no, I shouldn't talk about this. That's taboo." Like, explore it. Like, open your mind to it. Just the community aspect too. I think especially in the day and age that we're living in right now, you can't survive on your own or with just, like, one person. Like, you can't do it. You need a larger network. You need community, and that community is going to have multiple different manifestations of love. Like, and I think that if this is just me, like, my opinion coming into it, obviously. If that scares you, I am just like, are you afraid to receive love? Like, to me, that's where my mind goes. Like, you're not open to love. Like, why? And then I just want to dive into things, but that's my tangent there.
But I love the awareness that you had, that there was a different spin to that. And that might be like, I hope that you're in a position with people around you that you feel comfortable saying those very words, because that might be the very thing that could be a catalyst to them. Hmm. You know?
Mhm. Mm. People are waking up. It's happening.
Mhm.
Slowly but surely, it's happening. But hmm. I know you guys have mentioned before. I kind of want to switch tracks a little bit. We may end up coming back to parenting. But I know, like, I've been in a few of your containers, and when I've been there, you guys have made connections between your core wounds and your Chiron placements, right?
Mhm.
I would love to hear more about that if you're willing to share.
Mhm.
How do you wanna share that, Monique?
I
Like, we
don't
cannot
know.
make these up. Like, my core rune 43, her Chiron is gate 23. You just, like,
Yeah.
we're like
Well, like, I was just telling like, Amy and I were just talking earlier today on the phone, and I was telling her about something I was going, like, whatever, and she's like, "Yeah, you should, like, definitely, like, say your truth, though." And I was like, "Yeah, I know, but, like, it's timing. It's like when, right? When do I say my truth?" Because it is a thing that Uh-oh, what happened?
I don't know,
You're
but you came
here.
back. That's all that matters.
Mercury is retrograding. Why is it
Yep.
retrograding so hard?
I'm like, what gate is Mercury in right now? I'm curious.
Yeah,
Yep.
let's look that up. God, I just had another mini heart attack. Um, I forgot what I was saying
Or
too.
something in the power.
What?
It's
What?
in 34.
I just said it's
Oh,
probably 34, it's probably
you
the
did
power,
say that.
and I also had Mercury in retrograde.
That's why you're like cruising through this. Like, you're like,
Yeah.
whatever, whatever. Yeah, nothing has been working for me everywhere I go, and I'm pretty sure it's me. I went to pay for something, the register stopped working. I'm like, cool, it's me. I'll just go to the back of the line. Maybe you can get that up and running again. Um, mm, what was I saying before I panicked myself? I don't know. Oh,
That
23.
Yep,
I was saying how
yep.
I don't know. That's literally what I was saying and what I just came out of my mouth. I was telling Amy, I'm like, my Chiron is 23 on both sides. It's just any way you slice it, that's my Chiron. It's in Taurus, I believe too. And there's something going on right now with that shit in Taurus. And I'm like feeling it. But um I either know or I don't know. I know or I don't know. That's literally how it feels all the time. Like also, the gate of 23 is I know in the throat. That's like the word associated with 23. But I don't have it activated in my chart. It's just my Chiron, which doesn't get an activation in the chart. I don't know why, um, but when we learned, I mean, and Amy does have. Where's your 43, Amy? It's your core wound. That's what we're talking about, right? Stay on track, money. So it's Amy's core wound, and my Chiron. So her core wound and my wounded healer dance together is what it feels like, because I do feel like I tend to know or have a sense of knowing when I'm with Amy, for sure. When we're together, when we're connected, um there's a way, I don't know if I want to say like a confidence in my voice or like a confidence in what I know, but it sort of feels that way a little bit. Whereas when I'm not, I mean, I guess I wouldn't know unless I was around other 43s, but I also think it's our connection, because we're friends and whatever. But I generally feel like I don't know if it's the right timing or not to speak. It's definitely something that I feel I've struggled with a lot of my life. I've either said the thing at the very inappropriate time, or I don't say the thing and then I get sick about it, or I say the thing and then somebody's off and changing their life. And that was like, oops, I didn't mean for all that to happen. Like, it's just, I never know. I never know when it's time to share. That's what it feels like for me. It feels like that's always the thing I'm learning. And so, yeah, that's 23. I feel like, I don't know, I guess. And then I feel like with Amy's 43, it does make a little channel. And then we're, bringing this like kind of mutation shit together, and, I don't know if being around me helps her 43 feel more sure, but I know that your 43 shows up all the time. It has like aha moments. That's very common for Amy, I feel like, out of nowhere.
And sometimes I need your words to kind of,
Mm,
ground, give me the space. I just noticed that because I'll have an aha or an epiphany. And I've said this as long as I've known Monique, and it feels safe to say it. Because I mean, obviously, with it being your core wound, there doesn't always feel a lot of safety. There's some wounding there. I mean, we literally um, made an agreement when we chose it, that we're going to carry that forward. And it's not meant to be a demon in any way, shape, or form, but I just think that it offers a really, really beautiful healing space for Monique and I with those placements coming together. That's what I feel like. I feel like, boy, last year after the day lunar retreat where we got the shit activated out of us, and then we came back and we were just having like multiple epiphanies together. We went through a variable course together, and um, we just were really paying attention to how much we were meant to find each other, you know? Right
yeah.
place, right time. We both have gate 46. I mean, it's her sun, it's my Pluto. Um, it just, you just can't make it up. The body does what the body's meant to do.
Yeah. Yeah. And then with 35 being my core wound, Amy's main sun gate is 36. And so I do think that plays too. I think like where there's like just an excitement and stuff that happens with us when we connect. And I know Amy has 35 in her design too. I don't know where your 35 is. Do you, Amy?
Saturn.
But Saturn.
Is
But
it
either
conscious or unconscious?
I think it's both.
conscious, I think. Oh, you have it twice? Do you?
I don't know.
Let's see. Yeah, you've got it twice.
Yeah.
Both. Both conscious and unconscious, just for funsies. Um, Yeah, what I know is that Amy and I both have this like desire for new experiences thing that we both have. We both get bored pretty quick. Our gate 35 is both like, okay, all right, we got it. What's next? Okay, like, yeah, new experience. Like, we did that. We already did that. I'm a little bit more like, I'll go do it again because, like, 1-4 projector shit and 3-5 manifester. It's very different there. She's like, done it once, it's done. Like, we're done here. She's never going back again. But I might have to go back a couple times because that's like, and it depends. But I think we both share this like sense of like feeling wanting to feel life through our 35.
Yeah.
And you know, that's the word for 35 is I feel. And I think as a unit, we do feel things together. I think we're really good at that, actually. We're good at like bringing that out of people. We're good at doing that for each other. There's this real desire to like discuss and go through the experiential process of like feeling our way through experiences, I think. And what's
I
happening
have
to
a
your face?
here is a perfect example in real time. Monique said a thing that we both like to feel. Okay. This is how we are in a healing space together. The straw that broke the camel's back in my corporate life, I was invited into like, a little like upper management meeting where we were uh, to share like the client experience. Okay, here are some changes that are coming down the pike within the company. What is the impact to the client experience? And I use the words, I'm not joking, you guys. I use the words, I feel like, and my boss's boss, so 3 layers up, said, Amy, we don't pay you to feel. And my words were, I feel, okay, that the very thing that she just touched on. And that for me, with her just saying it the way she said it, is the aha that I knew in that moment. I literally looked up because I was like, thanks. That's what I needed. And that was it. That was the end. That was the beginning of the end for me. That was I'm out of here. Fuck this, if that is how you all are operating, everything I do is from a feeling place, even though I didn't use those words because I would have been squished in the corporate world, but I knew my integrity was built on that. And she just put words to why I knew my gate 43 knew done here.
Yeah.
But I couldn't put the words to it until she just made those connections for me in the way that she just shared it. And those are the things that happen in real time with Monique all the time. That's why we say all the time, we should be recording every single conversation we have. These epiphanies, because sometimes neither one of us can remember what happened. Okay. Perimenopause, menopause. That's what happens.
Right.
It's so true. It's so true. But yeah, I think it's so important to notice where we use the words associated to our throat gate activations and like where they're well received and where they're not. I think that's a really, really fun way to notice who's for you, where's for you, and where's not. Because I pay a lot of mind to that now. I use the words I think, I believe, and I feel, and I remember. Those are mine. I use them all the time. Those are my throat gates, and those are the words that feel the easiest to come out of my mouth. The I know, I don't know, sometimes because Chiron, but but the other ones feel always true. I think, I believe, I feel, and I remember. Those are so fucking true for me in so many ways. And what I remember is weird. It's not always the thing you would expect me to remember, but I remember some weird, specific things. And, and with that, and like, but I don't always know. And so if I'm in a place where like I'm expected to know, if I'm feeling like somebody wants me to be like, I know, you like feel like more sure, maybe that's not the space for me because I'm more of like, I believe that. And I have a lot of space for what other people believe too. I'm never the person that's like, I believe this, so you should too. That doesn't feel expansive for me either. I don't know. I don't like when people put that on me. So maybe that's why I don't do it to others. But like, I have so much space for your beliefs being different than mine. That's awesome. But this is what I believe. I'm going to be really clear about that too, because that is my truth. Like 56 is my truth. Like that's what gives me a defined throat in my case. Like I have to say what I believe sometimes. It's not an option. Right. And I think that story you just shared, Amy, is very telling. Like as soon as you're dismissed for like a word choice that is so natural for you, that should be a red flag thing. Write that one down. That one's a good one.
Yeah. I mean, as soon as you said it, I was like, oh, that's the moment I also knew. I knew in that moment that my future was going to look different. 43 is very future focused too. It was just like, nope, it's not going to be sitting in this shit.
Mhm.
And I haven't missed it one day, you guys. I haven't missed it one day. Nothing about it. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. And I'm almost 7 years in. That's pretty telling.
Yeah.
You know when you know.
Mhm.
It's learning to trust it.
Yeah.
Yeah. The only other thing I'll say about our core wounds too that I remember that we noticed was that we both have our core wounds in line expressions that we don't carry a lot of in our design normally. So Amy's
Mm.
core wound is in a line 4. She's only got like 2 4 lines in her whole chart. One of them happens to be in her core wound. And so core wound of rejection, right? Um,
Mhm.
and mine is in a line 2, which I think I only have like two lines in my whole chart. Um, core wound of denial. Fucking denial. Me and denial. We have a relationship. It's true. It's true. It's true.
What line is yours in?
Yeah.
Mine?
What's yours? Yeah.
Yeah.
Mine's a 4.
4
Okay.
also.
Yeah, but I have a lot of 4s in my chart, so that just would make me super curious, Amy, with you, because like
Yeah.
I'm a 4-6, right? And I'm like looking at my chart right now. 4s, 1, 2,
You have 5. You have 5 of them in your chart.
yeah. So it's like my wounding around community is very heavy. Like navigating through that has been fun.
Well, I
But
mean, I wasn't even remotely surprised when I saw rejection. Hell, I'm a manifester
mm,
and a 3-5, you know? So, yeah. But I have 8 2 lines. That's
dang.
my dominant number, yeah.
Yeah. She has more twos than 3s and 5s. Whereas like I
I'm
don't
more
have any
2-6.
2s.
There was a 2-6, you know? I
Yeah.
mean, just say dominant numbers, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm a 1-4 all day, every day, all the time. I have so many 1s and 4s, and a lot of 6s just to throw in some fun 6-line things. But choose two line expression is the one that is the most confusing for me. And my kid is a 2-5 too, but 2
Mm,
shit fucking throws me off. I don't get it. It's like, what do you mean you don't know? You just know? Explain it to me. I'm gonna need more information. Like, my one line is like, tell me more. It drives my kid fucking nuts. Like she's just like, I don't know, mom. Like she doesn't care to like teach people things. They don't care. Don't care. They're just like, I mean, if they do care, they care. But if they don't, they don't. They're just like, I don't know. And it's just interesting. But I think there's a lot of also similarities that I've kind of seen with 1s and 2s.
mm,
There is this like a little bit of like, we're not really ready to come out till we are kind of thing that we
mm.
do. I think 1s and 2s both do that. 1s are just busy doing research in the meantime. And 2s are just like fucking picking things up and being good at it. I don't know. But yeah.
Emily, I'm really interested because you just gave me another epiphany.
Mhm.
You said, okay, so if your core wound is in a line 4 and you're a 4-6, and you said so beautifully, I have a lot of wounding around community. I just glazed right over that statement. Can you say more about your wounding around community? Because I have some things to say about, I don't know that it's a wound, but I have feelings about community.
Yeah. Um, let's see. I mean, it's something I'm still actively moving through, so I don't know how much is going to come out and to what extent, but basically, like, the 4 line is a fear of rejection, right? And even before you are officially rejected in, like, the 3D, you're born with that wound, right? So it's like, it is inherently part of it, you feel it. I have this tendency, I think because it's just, like, imprinted in me, but also just because I have a lot of experiences being rejected by community. Um, I am the black sheep of my family, like, I've learned to be a wallflower because it was safer to do that rather than just be me, because being me meant being kicked out, being rejected. So it's really interesting for me right now to navigate trying to rebuild community and find people that I connect with on a genuine, authentic level and who I can trust are going to love me and accept me for me, like, no matter what. Um, and it's interesting because, like, I'm navigating this thing where as a 4-6, right? Like, I crave community, like, and that's where I know I'm meant to thrive. Like, my success as a projector is going to come from my community and my connections to my community. And yet, for the vast majority of my life, I have been building walls around myself to protect myself from the community because I have experienced rejection from them. So it's this really interesting thing where I'm reflecting on all of these experiences now, and I'm starting to recognize, yes, they have rejected me, but how have I rejected myself in an effort to protect myself from rejection? Like, it's just it's a lot. Um, but yeah, I have very complicated relationships with that. Like, I crave community, I want it, and yet I'm so terrified of it
Uh,
at the same time.
mhm.
Because, like, I'm I have learned to be very independent, right? Like, I have learned that I can do everything on my own, I don't need anybody. Human beings aren't meant to be solitary animals. Like, take your space when you need it. Absolutely. I think especially with how many open centers I have, I need that space in order to get rid of other people's energies and just come back to myself. But at the same time, I need to go out, I need to connect with people. My conscious north node is 41. My unconscious is 13. My conscious Mercury is 56. Listening to people's stories, connecting to them, right? Hearing them and then telling their stories, like, I need to build community in order for me to thrive. And I'm finally getting to that point in integrating my own chart where it's like, okay, Emily, it's time. Like, you need to get out of your own way, get out of your own glass box, break out of it, and build. So it's like it's a process, but that's what I have to say. So
I think that was beautifully shared. So where you weren't sure where it was gonna go, I followed it beautifully. So thank you for that. And it's gonna leave me, like, thinking, "Huh, do I have a wound around." I immediately could tell I had a wound around rejection. You heard me, like, quickly say that. Um, but is there a wound around rejection in community? I think, my first response is, yeah, they're gonna need more than I have to give,
Mm,
and I overgive.
yeah.
And so I'll just resist community because then that will help me protect myself in ways that I won't otherwise.
Mhm. I think it's interesting too because I connect the 4 line to, like, motherhood in a way and, like, this nurturing aspect and overgiving because, like, I have so much love to give, like, I do, and I want to give it, but I have the tendency to overgive and not feel like I'm receiving anything in return. So that's another reason why I start distancing myself from community because I'm like, sometimes people didn't invite me to give what I'm giving. I just see how I can help people and I'm like, "Here, let me help you." So it's
Mhm.
like it comes into like the projector thing too. It like the way that things tie together is fascinating. But yeah, I think there's an interesting balance between finding a like for everybody, right? But especially I think for four lines, um, you want to help your community, you want to serve your community, you want to give to and nurture your community. Even if that's just like a small family unit, right? It doesn't have to be huge. But if you overgive and you're giving nothing in exchange, it's like, who are you actually helping?
Mhm.
At least from a projector standpoint, I'm gonna get bitter as fuck, right? Like, if end up feeling that. So it's just, again, interesting interplays between needing to build community, but one that allows for like an equal exchange of like giving and
Yeah,
receiving.
yeah. It's so funny because it's your first number in your profile, and Monique, it's her body side, and
Mhm,
I have watched her over the years overgive in community scenarios
mhm,
and the bitterness that comes through, and honestly, I feel like she's often doing it without even because it's not mental,
mhm,
it's I don't know.
It's so interesting that you said that because I was just about to offer you back some advice as somebody with a lot of 4 lines in their design. I'm also curious, Emily, where are your 4 lines? Are they more conscious for you than unconscious? Because you said you have a lot of them, but
So it's my
Half and
conscious,
half?
sun, Earth, let's
Conscious,
see,
conscious,
Uranus,
conscious.
Neptune, and then it's my core wound, so unconscious Mars.
So only one unconscious, the rest are conscious. Is
Yep.
that
And
right?
then I've also got, like, if you wanna get into the nitty-gritty, I've got a 4 in my conscious MC, IC, Chiron, and Lilith as well.
Wow.
Conscious, all conscious again?
Mhm.
Holy balls. Okay.
I'm like
So
I'm
here's
I'm very aware of my wounding around community.
yeah, which is, I hear that. I also just I'm gonna say Emily just said some things that sound a lot like things you've said or that you feel. Like I feel like there's definitely I can hear your core wounds coming
Mhm.
out in your line force, girls. Can hear it because I don't have that in my imprint. I really don't. And I'm lucky and I'm not trying to sound like, oh my God, guys, I have it and you don't. Like what I want to say is two things. I want to tell you two things and it's just so funny to me that Amy quickly saw the, like, other side of what I'm about to say, I think, because I think that's what this is. Um, so I don't think about community. It's not something that I think about often. I think about connection. I think about collaborations, like I said earlier. I get really excited about the people in my life. I get really excited about the people in my life. I'm gonna say that again. Like, I am excited about the connections that I have, and when I get to connect with people, I am fucking there for it. Like, I am in it to win it with you, right? Like, we're there. But am I thinking about this? No. The rest of the time, no. I don't think about, like, if they're going to accept me, if they're going to reject me. Those thoughts that you all just shared, I don't have that, right?
Mhm.
So my heart was, like, feeling for you as you were sharing, and what I wanna offer is that hold on, I swear I have something to offer here, just let me get back to it. Is that my body knowing has given me my mind has given my mind peace of mind with that, let's say. Like, I'm not thinking about it like you are, Emily. I'm not unpacking it like you are in all like, it's so and I see this in my 4-6 friends and my 4-1 friends all the time. Like, we both crave this, like, 4-line stuff, but it doesn't come out of the 2 4s and the 1 4s like it comes out of the 4 6s and the 4 1s from what I've seen. You guys want it it's almost like you want it more, I think because it's conscious and you're probably thinking about it more. Whereas, like, of course my body wants it, but, like, my mind is a 1. It's a freak, like, it just wants to be a little weird troll, like, looking up its own shit all the time. Like, I don't think that I need it, right? But I'm so aware of how much I need it but
Mhm.
not as aware as you are, right? So it's like, okay, the other I'm forgetting what how I was connecting that to this, but I'm just gonna say the other thing I was gonna say was what I learned about my 4 line that helped me was that we're really good at putting up walls around our heart.
Mm.
Specifically our heart. So when we're doing things from a closed heart place, like the wall up heart place,
Mhm.
we've learned how to do that wall building around our hearts because of, I think, some of the things y'all were sharing and some of the things Amy's witnessed me do, apparently, that I don't see myself do because we just said it's in my body, not my mind, right? But so as we're over giving and stuff like that, we learn these other like little strategies. Oh, I'm going to put that wall up right here. So nobody's ever going to get that part of me again or I'm gonna put that wall up here so I can't get hurt like that again, or I'm gonna learn from last time, whatever. But as we build those little walls, it, like you were saying so beautifully, kind of prevents us from even then. And it came back to me, thank God. What I was going to say is you kept saying as you were sharing, Emily, build community. It's time to build community. You said the word build probably like 4 to 5 times when you hear back. And I don't think that's true because in what I've learned in my this is what I was going to say, having a 4-line body is that I truly have never had to build community. It's there. I've
Mhm.
either found it or it's found me. And in my case, because it is my body, I think it does. Maybe I'm a little luckier that I get to like just have it find me or my body. Amy's watched me like connect with people on Instagram and then we're friends, but like my body got me there, right? Not my mind. I wasn't like, oh, I'm going to message this person and then make a connection. It wasn't that at all. It was literally my body. And so, um, just like I don't know, take that for whatever, and hopefully there's something in there for you, but, like, I just see this, like, I don't know, this desire to build community. My other 4/6 friend talks about this a lot. Like she moved somewhere and she's like, I just want to build community. I want to be able to like have like, and I'm like, I think they're there already. I think your friends are there. I just think you have to find them or they have
Mm,
to find you. And so maybe there is some element going back to what you're saying, like you are here for that. So get out of your house, right? Go the places you like to go so that the community can find you. But maybe the community you want to build already exists somewhere and you just have to come across it. Because in my experience, I found that. I found that in De Luna. I found that in other group courses that I've taken. I found even when looking back to my high school friend group, which again, I'm really lucky. Like I've had this same group of friends. They found me in high school. They were the fucking weirdos and they found me and I got to be a weirdo with them. And which
mm,
is why I don't have a lot of hangups about being myself in front of my friends. I am myself because I was allowed to be myself then too. And that's lucky. I'm seeing how lucky I am for that in this moment, particularly. But what I want to offer is that I think it's out, I think it's there for you guys too. I think, you're just maybe don't have as many life experiences showing you as I
mm,
do. So I'm offering some. I think your community's there. I think it's just a matter of it finding you. And I think as projectors, we get to use that ease card. Isn't it supposed to be easy for us? So if I believe human design shit, and I believe human design shit pretty much, I'm going to say that it's my belief that there is a community out there waiting to invite you into
mm.
it, Emily. That's what I think. And that's what I think and believe and feel. So there.
It's interesting, like, how you ended that because a lot of times listening to you speak just now, you ended with waiting to invite you in, and that's the key. Like, I know that there's community there for me. I see it. Like, I
Ooh,
see exactly where I can fit into so many different communities, but
ooh,
I have learned I cannot force my way in. One, as a projector, right? Like, looking at it from that way, I need to wait for the invitation, right? Which means I'm not sitting alone at home just waiting like, I hope somebody invites me in." Like, no, I need to build my lighthouse, right? Like, make sure people know I'm around. But also, like, it's something I've been contemplating. One, I won't get off on the tangent with the cross of penetration because that might not have anything to do with it. That might just be my hang up. But like, I don't want to insert myself anywhere that I'm not actually wanted, for one. But also I have the 731 channel. I know when I enter into a community, like, naturally, I am going to fall into more of a leadership position without even trying. And from my experience, people will invite me in, and then when I start naturally falling into that, that's when they cut me off cold turkey. Lots of wounding around that. I will be speaking to a lot of this and writing about more, but I'm still navigating the pain of that. So it's like I have the double whammy of not only am I a projector with with a shit ton of four lines, so I need to wait to be invited into certain communities. But not only that, it's like if they don't really see me for who I am and they invite me because I look good on paper, right? When they realize who I actually am and then they cut me off, it's like it's
yeah,
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 lot of wounding.
And
yeah.
both of those placements are your south nodes. So you have a level of mastery with that you're not being recognized and acknowledged for.
Yeah.
Fuck,
Mm,
Emily, that's so deep.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And I also hear your undefined egos because I know you're both undefined egos here, and I heard that too when you were both sharing about the rejection thing and the if I'm fully me, then it might, I'm gonna, I might not be accepted. I might not be, um, I'm not, and the truth is, you're perfectly worthy just as is.
Mhm.
Whether you get rejected or not from the outside, it doesn't matter because you are the divine. There's no way that you could actually be rejected. Those are the stories we tell ourselves. But as the defined ego in the room, I'll just go ahead and remind you all of your worth and value just by existing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
like the fun thing about all of this deconditioning and all of the like shadow work and working through wounds is like the more confident you become in yourself, right? The more aligned you become with like your own energy. I'm showing up more authentically, meaning like the invitations that I'm starting to receive, like they're seeing me. I am showing up online and in person. Like I am who I am. Like masks off. When you invite me and you're getting me. Like I am putting that responsibility on other people where like you need to do your research type of thing. So it's just like it's a fun little thing to play with, but yeah.
I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
Being seen as a projector is not an easy dance either. We have wounds around
Mhm.
that too. Like how manifestors have the rejection wounds, we have deep wounds around like letting ourselves be seen and then
Mhm.
getting that thrown in our fucking face. And so then quickly going back to fucking not saying a word. Better not to be seen then, you know, but then you can't get the right invites, like you just said. And it's so scary to actually let ourselves be seen for the depth of weirdo that we carry all the time because it's a lot of depth in there. And we have a lot of experience telling us that that is not okay to be out
Mhm.
there just slanging that and what we see. And so it's I commend you. It's brave for sure. For any of us, really.
You guys have helped me a lot with getting here, so thank you.
Thank you. You too. You have so much going on in that sexy defined head. The contemplations. I would spend a day in there and have like 8 books to write when I came out.
There's so many books in this head.
Oh, I know.
I'm like, man, I'm not a fan of AI. I'm not. But I'm like, if there was a way to plug something into my brain and just like whoop, take everything into a book, I'd be like, yes, please. Like,
No
because
shit.
it's
Yes.
gonna take me, I'm gonna write them all. Like, I know that I am, but it's gonna take me a fucking lifetime. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
it is
And
what
that's
it is.
okay.
True.
And that's okay. Maybe that's the exact right time for it to
Right?
take you. I mean, that's another thing, man. We're so, you know, I don't know if it's as projectors, but I'm going to say as projectors. We see things moving a lot quicker for other people sometimes. And it feels like it's not for us. It feels like the needle moves a fucking centimeter
Mhm.
like every year. And then we got to like hold on to that centimeter for like the life of us. Like, don't take it away. I moved up like, you know, and then it's like, it just moves slower for us. It moves slower for us because it's meant to. I think we're here to show that that's okay. There is another way to move. It doesn't have to be all fast and right away and build
Mhm.
fast and get it done. There are other ways to build, and I think some of them are slower. And I think that we're kind of way showers for that.
Mhm.
Like there's different timelines for things, and not all good things come fast. We know this. Sometimes
Slow
you want it to
burns.
come slow.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I'm like, there's a voice in my head. Don't make it dirty.
I know. I think I did already, didn't I? I don't know, but
You
it was in
definitely
my head
did.
too. Yeah,
Definitely did. Yeah.
Oh,
I'm the queen of saying dirty things like that by accident.
I love
I
it.
do it at the bar job all the time too. I'm like, oh my god, that went right in my eye. And like
Right?
5 guys are like, Monique, don't say that. I'm like, oh fuck.
Oh, I love it. It's like it makes life fun.
Yes.
Innocence, motivation. I don't know what to tell you. The shit that
Right.
comes out of my mouth, I never hear it the way other people do, and then they reflect it back, and I'm like, "Oh, oh my god, I said that? That's crazy. Who says that?" But
I love it.
this girl does.
Yes. I love it too.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for loving me as I am.
Of course. All right. Well, I know we had this scheduled until we're a little bit past, so I want to be respectful of your time. Um, and I'm sure you'll be back. So, open invitation. Before we wrap up though, one, I would love to hear if there's anything else on your mind you want to share. And two, what revolution are you leading?
Mm. Do you wanna go first, Amy?
And yeah, because I
Yeah,
know
go ahead.
immediately, I think what I want to share is the revolution I'm leading, and that is, you're enough.
Mm.
You're enough. You're enough because you exist. And I don't think was ever meant to be conditional. Yet we live in a world that puts so many conditions.
Mm.
And so breaking free from those is part of the deconditioning process. So I'm here to remind you that you're enough because you exist.
I love this question. I think I'm going to ask myself this question more often. Like it felt like empowering to be asked what revolution. I'm like, oh, what revolution am I doing? I like that question. That's exciting. I think it feels like the answer is something around creative expression and authentic
Mm.
expression. I think I'm here for everybody showing up as themselves and that being really awesome, not just okay, but like awesome. I just want everyone to be as weird and creative and or as not weird or not creative as they want to be. I want everyone to feel okay.
Mm.
No, not just okay. I want everyone to feel really good about expressing as themselves because I really believe that that's what we need from each other. And I think we're all like hiding it away,
Mm.
you know, for fears and for conditioning and for whatever else, disappointments. And I just don't want to do that anymore. I feel like all the good stuff is there. And we're like keeping it from each other because we're scared to be ourselves. And I don't want to do that anymore. So that's the revolution I feel like is that feels right. And I don't know anything else is on my heart or mind because I feel like we talked about a lot of things that
Mhm.
feel really close to my heart. So I'm grateful for this time. It's felt really good.
Yes. Really good. Thank you. Thank you so much for having us, Emily. It feels really
Yeah.
good. Um, be in just a sacred space with just two beautiful projectors. I always feel safe with projectors. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you for having us for real. It's felt
Oh,
really, really nice. And we actually haven't really done any interviews together in a while on anybody else's show. So that feels good too. So thank
yay.
you.
Thank you for coming on. And on that note, last one, where can people find you? I will list it in the show notes, but just inviting you to share as well.
Definitely the podcast. Love Human Be Spirit. And then Amy has her own website. I have my own website. We have a Love Human Be Spirit website. Um, we offer readings together. We offer courses sometimes together and other gatherings. And I'm sure we're going to offer a lot more things together too, as individuals. My website is just moniquesampedro.com. I play on Instagram a lot as Monique Sampedro 22 and Love Human Be Spirit. Um, and yeah, I think that's what I got. I'm also creating a human design conference in Miami. I guess I should say that.
Ooh.
And that has a website too. So maybe in case anybody listening wants to come to Miami next April, we are creating it's called a human design experience. That's the website too, a humandesignexperience.com. You can buy early bird tickets even, but yeah, you can find me in any of those places. We have an Instagram account for that page too. And Amy, I'll let you say your website so I don't say it wrong.
I am not a player on the socials,
No,
not even remotely.
not a
Thank
player.
Monique. She gets us our stuff on there, and then she shares stuff with me, so I don't have to go searching because it makes my head want to pop off. Um, yeah, I do have a website, amyadouglas.com. I'm also in the Manifest community as one of the department heads there. And we're also both on Day Luna. And I would say, in addition to the ones that Monique mentioned, for us as a duo, we started Together in Truth back in August of 25. And that's a monthly gathering with a really low investment to just show up and share and be in sacred space, just like I feel like I'm in right now. Speak your truth. There's no judgment. Sometimes without even trying because there's no structure to it, which for my left arrows felt really cool. Um, it's really just a space where a lot of ahas seem to come out of it.
Mhm.
And there's an opportunity, Emily, that we create a sense of community that you get to come exactly as you are. And it's so welcomed. It's encouraged. Like
Mm.
that's the whole intention. So we do that monthly. Our next one is on well, you can just we've got it everywhere. So, it's timeless. It's a monthly gathering.
1010 would recommend. I'm just saying.
Oh,
Thank
thank you.
you.
You're welcome.
We appreciate that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for coming on.
Yeah.
Thank you for having us. Have a good one.
And that's a wrap. Another episode of The Glass Box complete. You can check out the show notes if you would like for everything that Monique and Amy mentioned, as well as a link to buy tickets to a human design experience, Miami edition. It is a conference, essentially, that Amy, Monique, and I will all be speaking at in April. So 1010 would recommend doing that, right? If you want to see us in person. And if not, stick around for scenes from our next episode. With love, Kai. Just kidding. You know who I am.